There is a moment almost every believer has faced and never talked about. You are lying in bed, the lights are off, your body is heavy with exhaustion, and you want to talk to God. But before a single word leaves your heart, a thought stops you. Is this even allowed? Am I too relaxed for this to count? Should I get up first? Most Christians carry this quiet fear without ever naming it. They believe somewhere deep down that prayer has rules about the body before it has anything to do with the heart. And tonight, before you pray in bed one more time, there are 5 things you need to know, because one of them will change how you see every prayer you have ever whispered from a pillow. The anchor for everything I'm about to show you is found in 1 Samuel 16:7. When God chose David to be king, he told the prophet Samuel not to judge by outward appearance, because man looks at the outside, but the Lord looks at the heart. Hold on to that verse. Every point tonight comes back to it. Let's begin with point 1. 1. God never gave a single required posture for prayer. Many believers assume there is a spiritual, correct position, but nowhere in Scripture does God command one body posture for every prayer. I think of a man I once knew who told me he stopped praying for almost a year because he was too sick to kneel, and he thought that meant his prayers no longer counted. In Matthew 6:6, Jesus tells his followers to go into a private room, close the door, and pray to the Father in secret. There is no mention of standing, kneeling, or any position at all, only privacy and sincerity. What this tells you is simple. God was never watching your knees, He was listening for your heart. So if kneeling has become the requirement your guilt invented, let it go tonight. 2. Scripture shows God's people praying in almost any position imaginable. Daniel knelt 3 times a day by his window. Elijah bowed with his face between his knees on a mountain. Jesus fell face down in Gethsemane the night before his death. And King David, described in the Bible as a man after God's own heart, wrote in Psalms 63:6 that he remembered the Lord on his bed and thought of him through the night watches. Think about that. The man who wrote most of the Psalms prayed lying down, in the dark, half asleep, and it is preserved forever in Scripture as an act of worship. If David's bed prayer made it into the Bible, yours is not disqualified either. Type, "Lord, I trust you unconditionally" in the comments if that truth just lifted something off your chest. Now let's go deeper, because what I'm about to share next is the most important truth in this entire message. 3. Your weakest moment is not disqualifying. It may be the most honest prayer you will ever pray. In 2 Kings 20, King Hezekiah was told by the prophet Isaiah that he was going to die. He did not rise, he did not kneel, he turned his face to the wall from his sickbed and prayed. And before Isaiah had even left the palace grounds, God sent him back with an answer. Hezekiah's life was extended by 15 years. God did not wait for the king to stand up. He answered him exactly where he was lying. What this means for you is this: exhaustion, sickness, and weakness are not barriers to being heard. They may be the very posture in which your prayers are most unguarded and most real. 4. And this is the point that will convict you if you let it. Comfort can become an excuse to never pursue God at all. Here is the caution hidden inside this whole conversation. There is a real difference between praying honestly from your bed because you're spent and using your bed as a permanent hiding place from ever seeking God with your whole self. Hebrews 11:6 tells us that without faith it is impossible to please God, because anyone who comes to Him must believe He is real and that He rewards those who earnestly seek Him. Notice that word, earnestly. Not lazily, not only when it's convenient. If your entire relationship with God only exists in the 2 minutes before you fall asleep, that is not about posture anymore. That is about pursuit. Ask yourself honestly tonight, is my bed where I meet God in my weakness, or is it where I've been avoiding Him in my comfort? And 5, and this is where the truth finally sets you free. God has always cared more about your heart than your body's position, and that has never once changed. Going back to our anchor verse, 1 Samuel 16:7, God looks at the heart, not the angle of your knees, not whether your hands are folded, not whether your eyes are shut. In the book of Jonah, a man ran from God, was thrown into the sea, and swallowed by a great fish. From the bottom of the ocean, in total darkness, unable to stand, unable to kneel, Jonah prayed, and God heard him and delivered him to dry land. If God heard a prayer from inside a fish, He can hear a prayer from your pillow. So here is what all 5 of these truths are really saying to you. God has never rejected a prayer because of where your body was lying, but He has always been listening for whether you were truly reaching for Him or simply drifting off with words attached. Your bed is not a disqualified place, but it should never become the only place. Let it be where you are honest with God in your weakest hours, and let it never become where you hide from pursuing Him with your whole heart. Tonight, before you close your eyes, this is not a rule to follow, it's a mirror. Look into it honestly, and know that whether you are on your knees at the altar or flat on your back in the dark, God is not measuring your posture, He is measuring your heart. If this message spoke to you, share it with someone who needs to hear it tonight. Subscribe so we can keep revealing truth through Scripture together. And in the comments, type this simple declaration: God sees my heart, not my posture. Let it be your reminder every time you close your eyes to pray. God bless you, my brother, my sister. Until next time.